Have you ever met someone who just seems happy all the time? No matter what is happening in their life, they remain positive and smiling. When problems appear, they somehow manage to see the bright side. When challenges come their way, they face them with optimism rather than frustration. These are the kinds of people whose smiles feel contagious. Their positive energy often lifts the mood of everyone around them. Seeing people like this makes us wonder, were they simply born that way? In a sense, the answer is yes, but here is the interesting part: so were you. Think about it for a moment. How many depressed 3-year-olds do you know? Probably none. Toddlers look for every possible reason to laugh and giggle. The smallest things make them happy. They are naturally curious, playful, and full of energy. To them, the world is an exciting place filled with discoveries. In other words, every human being begins life with a natural ability to be happy. We are all born with the instinct to laugh and enjoy life. So what happens as we grow older? If happiness feels so natural and enjoyable, why don't we simply stay that way? As time passes, people begin to settle into a certain place on what we might call the happiness spectrum. On one end are people who feel joyful and optimistic most of the time. On the other end are people who feel unhappy and dissatisfied. Most of us land somewhere between those two extremes. Surprisingly, our position on this spectrum is often influenced by our own choices. Life certainly brings challenges, disappointments, and unexpected difficulties. Yet people respond to these experiences in different ways. Some develop habits that support happiness, while others develop patterns that lead to frustration and negativity. Generally speaking, many people drift into one of two groups: those who actively cultivate happiness and those who allow unhappiness to dominate their outlook. Many believe happiness comes from external things such as money, fame, success, relationships, or material possessions. But life repeatedly shows that this is not always true. There are countless wealthy individuals who feel deeply unhappy. At the same time, some of the happiest people live in very simple circumstances. How can that be? The answer is simple. Happy people choose to create happiness within themselves. They maintain a positive outlook on life. They focus on opportunities rather than limitations. Most importantly, they learn to remain at peace with themselves. This does not mean their lives are free from problems. Everyone faces difficulties. But people who cultivate happiness learn to respond differently when those difficulties appear. And that leads to an important question: how do they do it? The answer lies in their habits. Happy people build habits that strengthen their mindset and improve their lives. Even when they do not feel motivated, they continue practicing behaviors that support happiness. Over time, these habits shape their thinking and influence how they experience the world. The purpose of this book is to explore these habits so that you can begin practicing them in your own life and discover new ways to bring more joy and balance into your daily experiences. Before we continue, however, there are two important ideas to remember. First, happiness means something different for everyone. There is no single universal definition. One of the best ways to describe happiness is this: happiness is a journey without a final destination. It is not something we fully arrive at one day. Instead, it is something we continue building and experiencing throughout our lives. Second, the ideas in this book are not meant to be a complete list of everything that leads to happiness. Human life is complex, and it would be impossible to include every factor. Instead, these ideas are practical suggestions, tools you can explore as you move along your own journey. With that in mind, we are now ready to begin exploring the habits practiced by those who seem to be consistently happy people. In the next part, we will begin exploring the powerful habits that help people build happiness in their daily lives. Stay tuned.